Today on Performance TV, Kathy and Tommy talk wiring systems and demo a new product from Speedwire. Lizard scans spray your way to a cooler ride. Kathy has Jeanette Thornleigh in-house, and our friends at Clamp Tight show us how to clamp a fuel line. Finally, Attitude Performance has a new diesel product you'll truly enjoy. All of this coming right up.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's Performance TV. Tommy, we're going to get right to something we love, and that is race cars.
Well, Kathy, when you have wiring in a race car, I'm kind of anal, and I like it nice and neat. Well, before we installed the Speedwire Systems control panel and relay panel, this thing was kind of a mess. It had switches, but it was a mess. Wiring nightmare, I want to call it.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, if you run into any type of electrical problem and have to chase things down, you don't want to be spending time doing that at the track when you could be out there racing.
Right, and the Speedwire system is clean, nice, neat, and simple. It has everything that a racer would want.
That's true. And you know, a lot of the stuff that we use as racers, it takes a lot of power, like your tranny brake, stuff like that. And with our Speedwire system, I mean, this can handle a lot, all the way up to 200 amps.
Well, they can reconfigure it for any kind of vehicle, any kind of, you know, whatever your needs are. They can build the system for you, and especially for racing. You know, you got the switch panel, and then you got all these wires running everywhere. They have this relay panel. Makes everything nice and neat and simple. You have one wire from the switch panel to the relay board. You could put this up under the dash, hide it all, and everything is really neat. It's got a lot of neat features on here. As you can see, we've connected power to it. We've got the LEDs lit up. Tells you there's power to the board. But when you flip a switch on the switch panel, see what happens. A little green light pops on here. It tells you that switch is active. It tells you it's working, and it's really, really simple to trace down things and find what's wrong, or if something is not working. You might have a broken wire. It won't come on. You'll know where it's at.
That's right. And, you know, or if a fuse is out or whatever, the light is going to turn red, and it's going to make it very simple for diagnostics. So much easier than what this car had installed before. Speedwire Systems, this is one of their new panels they have come up with. Now, Tommy, this has been completely done with CNC billet aluminum. Then they've black anodized it, so it's got a really nice, clean look for the inside of your race car. Now,
it's not cheap plastic, I can tell you that.
No, it's definitely not cheap plastic. And for the folks, say, like our car here, where we can mount it right above in the driver's compartment area, most roll bars are 1 5/8 inches, which that's what comes with the system. But if you need another type of clamp, they can help you out with that and just bolt it right like we did into the car here. They come in all different sizes, 6, 8, and 10 switches.
Yeah, they got all options. They got it all figured out. And then they send you got all these paperwork. I mean, I was looking at all these and going through them, all the different configurations you can do and things you can add, and depending on your car, and there's a lot of neat little tricks you can do with this board that you can wire some other stuff in. You can have bump switches, and it's all really, really simple.
Oh yeah, for checking the valves, it's nice to have the bump switch. And something else, there's a lot of staging lanes you're in at the track, or say at the top end of the track when you want to look at that ET slip. You don't have a dome light in the car. Check out what they have added. All you have to do is flip your little switch right here, and now you can see in the car.
I thought of everything.
Yes, they did, and something else too. Now, a lot of guys and girls are still running the 12-volt systems in their cars, but some have even bumped it up to the 16-volt systems, or they're running 2 batteries, so you have the 24. This will work with all of that.
Right, it's got 50 to 75 amp fuses. It's able to handle up to 200 amps, and they're easy to get to, and they like the lights. You know, if it's out, it's not working. It's so simple to work on. Plus, I mean, like I'm saying, I like nice and neat and clean. This is the system for me right here.
Absolutely, and like I said, they can configure it to all different types of things from all your switches here too. Something else we deal with racing is vibration. Whether it be sometimes just in the trailer on the way to and from the track, or down the track, staging lanes, everything else. Well, with something like this is going to be so sensitive, Speedwire has even included your vibration mounts too. So when you hook up your relay board, it's going to have, you know, your vibration, not have to worry about that so much.
Right, and around the edges, it's all fireproof. If anything grounds out, it's not going to catch fire. All the terminals, you just hook the positive wire up here, negatives in here. It's just something I can put in.
Yes, and to be able to trace wires back, and not like some of the nightmare cars that I've seen where You know there are lots of different colored wires, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, I've seen some that is like they wired it in all red. You don't have to worry about that with your Speedwire systems. And you can find out more about all of the things that they have to offer and how they can configure one for your application. Just hop on their website.
I'm ready for it. I got to have one of these. If I ever build another race car, this is what I'm having.
Oh, you can build it for me. I saw you wire this one. Turned out pretty good for me. We'll have more coming up next here on Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by Steel Rubber, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. Liberty Engine Parts, distributor of performance, marine, agricultural, industrial, and OE replacement engine parts and supplies. Race Star Wheels, high-performance alloy wheels for passenger automobiles and a variety of racing vehicles. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Performance TV. I just got a new truck, and one thing I love is how quiet it is inside. If you've got an old car or a hot rod, it's going to be a little noisy, a lot of road noise, little rattles. We got a great product today, Lizard Skin. I got Mark Henry here from Lizard Skin, and this is a really cool product that's easy to install.
Very easy. This is designed to be a DIY project. The sound deadening product is we do use it to capture the metal vibrations in the car, so we can completely encapsulate it. You can get in the doors, the firewall, floor pan, the ceiling, all the way back in the trunk area. It is water-based, so no toxins, no VOCs. It's Class A fire rated, so it can be sprayed anywhere.
It comes with everything you need to install. You can do it in your garage, your driveway, wherever you want. Walk me through the steps. How do we put this on?
Okay. We have an application gun that you'll use with it, and just a regular air compressor at 5 CFM. We'll adjust the nozzle like 2 turns out, 55 to 60 regulated at the trigger. We give you everything you need. We have a stirring paddle. We have a wet mill gauge because we want to do a couple coats, around 20 thousandths on each coat. So the wet mill gauge will guide you through that. And then of course instructions to walk you through. When you're all done, everything cleans up with water.
Right, you do a little prep work, get it all ready, then you're ready to spray. You just even coats, if you use a spray can, you can probably handle this, right?
Right, and it's real easy to just use like a east-west and a north-south crosshatch. And then that just gets all the particles randomly dispersed and then just work your way through the car.
And one of the advantages over this, with the old pads you used to put in, you have to cut them and tape them down, and it doesn't always cover everywhere.
Right. This, being a spray-in application, will create that seamless membrane so we can cover all the uneven surfaces in the car, take it inside the door skins, but being able to completely seal the metal, now we have that moisture barrier. It can actually go underneath the car as well and act as an undercoating, sealed against the road elements. If you have the big external fenders, you can put it under the fenders and it'll protect your paint from rock stars.
Right, it also comes with a 90-degree nozzle. Get in those hard-to-reach places. You can spray up under the dash, anywhere you maybe couldn't get with the pads or any other place.
That is correct. We would take this, pull the straight one out, put this one in. Now up inside the door skins or high up underneath the dash or back in the rear quarter panels, this 90-degree nozzle works really well.
Right, it's got a lot of advantages over the old technology. This is new technology.
Right. Plus you can move through a car and go front to back in probably a couple hours versus taking a whole week.
Right, and you said it's water-based, easy to clean up, and fireproof.
Right.
This is really, really simple to install. It's going to make great sound, going to get rid of all that road noise. It's going to make that old car sound pretty nice inside, so you can crank up that stereo and actually hear it.
Exactly.
Now, you've also got a product that goes with this. It's a thermal barrier. Now you can use them together or separate, and you can reduce the temperature in the car as well.
That's correct. We have our ceramic insulation here. So you think about taking an old car, now we're putting high-performance engines in them, so you're going to create a lot of heat that's going to radiate up in through the firewall, the floor pan, and, depending on where you're at, you get one of those nice 95-degree days. In the summer, you go into the car show, now we get it up in the ceiling, and we can cool the inside temperature by 30 degrees.
Well, you've got a demonstration to show us how well this works.
Right.
You got some ice cubes here. We've got a grill, 300 degrees. You can put one on each side. Show me how well this works.
This is the Lizard Skin coating ceramic here. This is 2 coats at 40 mils thick. We're at 300 degrees. And that shows just how well it pulls the heat out and not let it penetrate in. So this ice is sitting there right on that 300 degrees and it's constantly radiating the heat out.
That's pretty cut and dry right there.
Yes.
Marks, this is something you can put anywhere in the car. It doesn't have to be just the engine bay. You can do it anywhere on the vehicle.
Correct. The ceramic insulation, think about anywhere heat is a concern. We can go up in the ceiling so you can protect it from the sun. We can get up that firewall, floor pan, but also think about the car and you have the hot rod, you lower it down. Now you have the heat generated off the asphalt, radiates up the doors. We can put it up in the door skins so we can stop the radiant heat from coming up the sides of the car. We can also go to the engine bay side. So if we want to put it on the under the hood, we can put it there. If you have a fiberglass hood, we can put it underneath the hood. That'll protect your paint from the engine heat as well.
Plastic, steel, aluminum, wood, anywhere.
Fiberglass, it goes over all of it.
And once you get it all done, you've got something to top it off.
Right. And if you go outside the car and you put it up under your fender wells or up underneath the car and you want it nice and glossy, we have our lizard skin top coat now that'll give us this nice little gloss finish. So it makes it nice and easy, real easy to clean up. The dirt doesn't stick and it just washes right off.
You got an off-road car, you don't want to put carpeting in it, great way to finish it off.
That'll finish it off.
I tell you what, this is a great product, going to make your car not sound good. It's going to make it sound quiet inside. You're going to be able to crank that stereo, no road noise. It's going to make that old hot rod sound like a brand new car. We'll be back with more Performance TV right after this.
Performance TV, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Performance TV, where we are going to go fast today on two wheels, real fast, and with a champion to do it. Jeanette Thornleigh, 2015 NHRA Harley-Davidson Pro Fuel Champion. Congratulations, and thanks for bringing your bike in. What's it like to ride this?
Well, it's pretty exhilarating being on two wheels on the drag strip, as you know. But it's hard to describe, really, unless you do it.
Oh, absolutely. And the speed on, riding around on your street bike on the streets, one exhilarating feeling, but what kind of ET in mile an hour you're getting on this bike?
Running in 720s with this motorcycle, and 185 is my top speed.
That is definitely moving, and people have to understand that's in, just barely over 7 seconds to do that. And sometimes that kind of speed can cause some problems and maybe even lose some body panels.
Yeah, the last race of the season, we lost the side panel on my wheelie bar 2 times.
Oh, well, you know what? I think we've got somebody who just may be able to help us out with that. And Nikki from Clamp Tight, tell us about what you can help us out with so she doesn't have this problem again.
Well, basically, what we have here is a wire it's a clamp. It's making a hose clamp that's 10 times stronger than a regular hose clamp. So what I just basically did was just wrapped it around there, and it's going to be tighter than any zip ties or anything else that you're going to put on here. And you're going to be set to go and up to whatever speed you need to go to.
Yeah, because we don't like throwing the stuff out on the track and losing carbon fiber panels, and yeah, that's got to be a lot stronger than that zip tie.
Absolutely, and you know what's great about this too is not only can you fix these, but I can help you fix any of the hoses on your bike. So,
yeah, and there are a lot of hoses
yeah, there
here.
are. So, well, let me show you. There's one up here on the top that we'll just go ahead and show you how we're going to fix. So what I'm going to do is get rid of this ugly old thing right here. So just unscrew that.
Yeah, and Nikki, with our old-time hose clamps that we see like this, they don't always put the right amount of pressure all the way around, and they can kind of warp on us, but we don't have that problem with Clamp Tight.
No, we don't. It's a custom fit every single time, so that's what's really nice about this. So you don't have to worry about trying to find the right hose clamp to fit on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply this, make a loop. What I do is I feed the wire up through the loop, give it a good pull, and then we're going to do this one more time, right up through the center.
Yeah, this is going to make a big difference too, because when you're using the old-time hose clamps with the screw thing on there, it doesn't necessarily put down the same clamp all the way across or around the hose.
That's exactly right, and this is going to give you a custom fit, and it's a 360-degree seal all the way around. So as I just make sure that I'm not crossed anywhere. Now, this is actually the tool that we're going to use. So, and I'm just going to place it right up underneath the loop, hold it there, twist it, whoops, up and around each of the pegs, just like this, and that, and then you twist it together. So, and then there's a little notch at the bottom of the tool. That's what we're going to put that loop into.
Okay.
And now I'm just going to start turning. So what that's actually going to do is it's actually going to tighten it around your project. So, and you'll actually start to feel it.
I was going to say, when do we know when to stop? Of course, we're dealing with fuel lines here. This bike, we don't want to be dripping anywhere, for one.
Absolutely.
Two, it needs every drop of fuel it can get, and it still wants more. So this is definitely going to help us have a good seal. But how do we know when to stop?
Well, you'll actually start to feel it. The tool actually will start to tell you. You'll actually start to feel it's going to start getting harder to turn, as well as you can actually feel it getting nice and flush up against your project.
Okay.
So at that point, once you get there and you know it's tight enough, you simply you're just going to flip it over, and that locks it in place, and you're just going to loosen it, pull the tool back, and that's when you take your cutters. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to cut the tool away about 1/4 of an inch or so, just about like that, and then you just take your ends, push those little guys down.
Clean those all up.
Clean those up. You can snip them up a little bit more, but you just want to give them a good push down here.
And the nice thing is, on a bike like this, for an example, I mean, this is where they a lot of times have to change jets in between rounds, but if they need to take this back off, boom, they can just cut it off with side cutters.
Yeah. That, and the best way actually is you can actually just pull those tabs back, grab hold of it, and it just pulls right off. Okay. So because if you are working with fuel lines, you don't want to snip into it. So, but if you want to be able to just rip it right back off, you can.
Wow, body panels, fuel lines, you name it. There's all kinds of great things you can do with the clamp tight tool, and just find out more by hopping on their website, and we'll have so much more for you up next here on Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977. Dynamic Drive Lines, over 20 years of experience building racing drive shafts. Johnson's High-Tech Performance, the highest standard in the industry, and we prove that with every product we deliver. And by Precision Turbo, the world's foremost manufacturer of high-performance aftermarket turbochargers.
Welcome back to Performance TV, where we are talking diesel, and we have Len joining us here from Attitude Performance Products. Len, you guys have been doing all types of stuff with stainless and billet for diesel trucks, and not just the ones that have electronics.
Exactly. We've gone with the mechanical side of things. We've invented and patent pending on a mechanical chip for the 94 to 98 Cummins, which of course we have one right here. And it has, well, I'll tell you, we released it in June. We've got a lot of other products. You were just talking about it. We have 15 other products that are really super cool. But this one, this is the bomb right here.
This is the adjuster.
This is the adjuster. And so here's what happens. We released it in June of last year. Huge success. And diesel enthusiasts were kind of skeptical. They thought, how can one product deliver so many value-added benefits? And then they tried it themselves and they found out. So what I promised is I said, you know what? Here's what I'm going to promise you. This is the in-cab controller. With one rotation of this knob, I'm going to give you full rack travel of that P7100 pump.
Which is something you haven't been able to do with this,
Nope.
because there's no, electronics or anything. It's just
Right.
mechanical. These guys have been left out.
Exactly. They were stuck with a fuel plate. Whatever their simple little fuel plate was, that's what they had to roll with. Now we've got the adjuster, in-cab control, on the fly. You don't have to lift, no, none of that. You can put your foot in it, crank it wherever you want, all right? So with third-party testing and fabulous customer feedback that we're getting, we're seeing some really amazing value-added benefits.
Well, you know what I want to see?
What's that?
I want to see the simplicity of installing the adjuster.
And we're going to do that. And you know who I've got here? He's just chomping at the bit over there. Casey Adams, he's our diesel expert.
All right, let's go check in with Casey.
And he's going to go do that for you. Okay. All right.
Hey, Casey, you didn't have to, but it was pretty nice you got out the P7100 pump so we can see the very simple installation of the adjuster. Now, you've had one in your truck, and you've seen all kinds of great benefits like more boost and lower EGTs. But the coolest thing is how easy this is to add to your truck.
Exactly. So we're going to do a simple install on the adjuster, and from that we'll show you the functionality it has to gain more power, more boost, and efficiency.
Now, you've already taken the housing off so we can see what's came from the factory.
Exactly. So it's as simple as doing a fuel plate install. Here we'll just pull the fuel plate out. The adjuster will go on, just like the fuel plate would. And then the AFC housing will go on.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Wow, that is pretty cool. And then we just have our bolts to go ahead with our fasteners.
All the hardware comes in the kit with the adjuster. Just place it on.
So you really just need simple tools, probably no more than a half hour or so to be able to, just there's a couple of things that need to come off first to be able to get to this, and it's right on top of the motor.
Exactly. So it makes for install super easy. And then the benefits from it are just amazing.
Well, like I was mentioning earlier, with more boost to be able, because you're giving this, a lot more fuel. Okay, I'll hold this for you here. So this is what's going to get installed inside the truck, correct?
Exactly. So the dial, this is what's going to adjust the cable going forward and back. So from here, this will a simple hole drilled in the firewall. It'll drive the cable into the cab, and then I'll show you the cab controller inside here in just a moment. Really, the adjuster install is as simple as that.
Let's see how this works. So we have 1 through 10 here, correct?
Exactly.
So once we're going to start off with our truck being at 1 or at 0, and then work our way up to kind of see what we add to it. So we just
more performance.
More performance.
Dial it up, and from there you'll see the profile move.
And then we can go back.
Dial it back.
To go back to what we call grocery getter mode.
There you go.
Or go up to our high performance mode. Yeah. And, and whether you're towing or whatever you're doing, so like I was mentioning, with more boost, we love that, more horsepower. You're going to make your pump last a whole lot longer because, hey, it's not having to do so much of a job because you're letting it give more fuel. And we love lower EGTs, especially for you guys that are towing, a lot of loads and through mountains and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Well, you can lower your EGTs like, what, 200 degrees?
250 degrees.
Whew. That is a lot. Think of all the improvements that you can make with the adjuster. And we can just go hop on the website and find out more about the Attitude Performance products, attitudeperformanceproducts.com. Tell you what, I love simple installations just like this. Thanks for bringing your truck in, Casey, and showing us how to do this. That's all we have time for, folks, this week here on Performance TV. We'll see you next time around.